So today I'm going to show you how your orders work and how you deal with orders and what's the process flow it actually follows. So let's pretend we have thousands and thousands of customers, and these are all our customers just waiting to buy stuff from us. So for today's little exercise, we're going to have on the one side we got an account that's going to be buying stuff, and on the other side you got an account that we're going to be selling stuff from. So before we start buying anything, I'm going to change this account. I'm going to go to the business account and I'm going to make it a cash only account. So I think I've done that already. So as you can see, I've just activated it to be a cash only business. And once I've done that, I'm going to go and I'm going to just save the information. So because I'm running two emulators on my PC as well, there might be a little bit of a lag. So hopefully all goes very, very well. So now that I've done that, I'm going to switch over to my business account and I'm going to go look at one of my products. So as you can see, the network is a little bit slow on the PC because I got two things running, so that took a little bit of a while to actually get the items and display the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that item, and it is incredibly slow running two emulators on my PC. So I'm going to go to pricing and I'm just going to change the price, and I'm going to make it $10 grand, and I'm going to obviously remove the discount. And then I'm just going to save the item. So now that I have updated the item price, I still need to be able to make it sellable. So I'm just going to go change the quantity that we have on hand and actually make it available. So that's in shipping info, but maybe that should actually be under the pricing as well. So I'm going to put it in stock and I'm just going to say that we have two items available because I'm going to buy one cash and one through the actual payment. So now that I've saved the item, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go out to the application and I'm just going to close it down. So on this side, I'm just going to go to our shopping page and then I'm going to click on the item I want to buy. And as you can see, it is also 10 grand on there, and I can just go and say add to cart. So I'm buying this item, so I'm quite happy, and I'm just going to add it to cart. And as you can see, it tells me now the item's in my cart. And then I go back, and once I go back to my cart, I am now displayed with any items that I've added into my cart. One other thing I want to remind you, if your business is set up as a cash only business, you will not be able to make or take credit cards and vice versa. So as you can see, we got a little card that tells us what we bought and how much it's going to cost. So if we wanted to increase the quantity, all we could do is actually go and increase the quantity. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it like that, so I'm going to go continue. And if I wanted to add a new address, I would simply click on the add new address and it would bring up the same procedure that you've seen, well, pretty much everywhere so far when you enter your account as well as create your business. In this case, I already got two addresses set up, and the addresses, the last address used will be the address for the shipping address. So once again, I'm going to be displayed with the item details, how much it costs, where the item will be billed to, as well as the shipping address, and how much it would actually cost to ship this item. As you noticed, I just made the shipping cost 0 in this case. So then I go and I say complete order. So once the order is done, in about a couple of seconds on the other emulator, we get a notification. So as you can see on the emulator, it does not actually work exactly like a phone, so it's not going to show you the nice little image, but it does tell us that we got an order. So we can simply click on there, and if we go this side while that loads and we go to our orders, we can now see the order that we made. So this order was made tonight, as you can see, and it's got all the details in there, and it tells us that this was a cash transaction, which is very important. And it's also going to tell us that like no money was paid for it and the outstanding balance is 10 rand. So it's going to be your responsibility completely to get your money. So if we go to our other screen, as you can see, when I clicked on the orders, there's nothing there because I'm not in my business account at the moment. And the way the application works is you can either make orders, you can buy stuff from your personal account, and then you can buy stuff from your business account, or you can receive orders to your business account. So technically, in a technical world, it's called B2B and B2C. That means you can make business to business as well as business to consumer transactions. So now if I click on my products or my orders again, because I'm in my business account, as you can see, now I got a new order that came in. And currently the order status is ordered. So what do I do now? Every new order that comes in, you have to receive it. So when you click on the ordered status, it's going to ask you to acknowledge the order. And once you've received the order, it will go and automatically update the order on the customer side. So if you have a look at that, we'll change to a different name now, and there we go, and it says now it's in progress. And as you can see, that order now disappeared. Currently I have a couple of orders here, I think. One more order which I made the previous night, and the current order that came in for the 19th as well, as you can see, that's now disappeared. So where's it gone? So if I go to my current, now I can see that order again. So the order is going to follow a process. It's going to come in, it's going to go into new, and then it's going to the current stuff, because that's the current things that you're busy with, and those are the current stuff you need to package, etc. Once you've packaged it and once the item's ready, you then are gonna get it ready for shipping, correct? So once you click on the progress status again, you can now mark the order for shipping. So marking the order for shipping doesn't mean that it's been shipped, but you are waiting either for a courier or you're waiting to actually deliver it at your delivery depot or whatever the case may be. So once I click confirm, as you'll see that the status on the other side updates, and the order has now gone from current into processed. So once the courier picks it up or you've delivered it, and this is a nice little thing as well, so you're going to click there and it's going to ask you to enter your shipping address. So I'm not going to enter anything here at the moment. I'll show you a little bit later how that works, but generally you get a tracking ID from your shipping company, which you can then send to the customer to actually track the item. And because this is a cash order, I do not see that we're going to be doing any shipping for it, so I presume the customer is going to come pick it up. So I'm going to click confirm, and then what's going to happen is, now you can see it's waiting for, well, picked up by the courier, or you've delivered it, or whatever the case is. Then what you need to do, once the customer comes and picks up the order or it's been delivered to him, you can just simply go and you can click on the order again, and then you confirm that it is done. So it's going to jump away and you'll see that the order disappears. And as you can see, this is another order from yesterday which we haven't actually touched. I think there's a couple of orders there, so we'll get to those in a little later. And now if we go to our completed ones, you can see that the order that we just created will be right at the bottom, and I should probably give you a filter thing here so you can actually search through and sort the orders as you want to. But that in a nutshell is how your ordering works. So now the next thing we want to do is we actually want to change our business again. And then we want to go and make it a business that actually will be allowed to take credit cards. So that's all I have to do is inactivate the cash business switch, and then I have to save my information. And hopefully this goes smoothly because we are working on the simulator, which is rather slow at the moment. So because I still have 2 items available, I can now just go and do shopping again, but I will go and actually get the entire application as it is shown to the user once you've created it. So I'm going to click on searching for the business, and then I'm just going to go and say I want to see a business. And this is another thing you have to remember. If you're looking for a specific business, you have to put in B dash and type whatever you want to. Otherwise you are only going to be searching through the products. So let's go and search for our business. And as you can see, in a couple of seconds this loads. So this is from a customer's point of view, what they actually see. So when they go into your application from the link that you either share to them or by them finding your online site on our platform, this is what they're going to see, and they can go through all the categories, etc., etc. And it works pretty much the same as when you create the business, except that like you cannot edit any of the items and there's no button to save the application, etc., etc. But when you set it up, that's pretty much what the user is going to see. It's one of the most important things I looked at was actually building something that while you're actually building it was for you to visually be able to see what your customer is actually going to see. So now that I've kind of like explained that a little bit, let's go and make a transaction. So I'm just going to add that to the cart again. It works exactly the same. The procedure is very simple. And once I've added it to my cart, I can then go back. I can go to my cart, follow the same procedure. I'm just going to continue because I know exactly what I bought, how much it's going to cost me, and I know where my shipping address is going to be. And next I'm going to go to my payment. So this is going to work a little bit differently than the cash transaction we just saw, because this now is going to go to a payment process where I actually have to go and physically pay with my credit cards. So now I got to put in a cell phone number. And once I've hit my PIN, I can just go and say submit. And as you will see, that's now going to go finish the transaction. There you got a successful transaction. And then we go back to application and we have bought an item. So now if I go into my orders, you're going to see a little bit differently, because now as you can see, it tells you that the order is now paid in full instead of that it's a cash payment. So that's very, very important. Also, what you're going to notice is the total amount is 10 Rand and the amount paid is 10 Rand and the outstanding balance is 0. And therefore you got no issues because your money has been paid and it will be transferred to you in a couple of days. So that's pretty much how it works on that side. So if I go to our orders on this side, as you can see, this is what you as the business owner now sees as well. Is you're going to see who the customer is, where it needs to be delivered to, what items was bought, the quantity, as well as very importantly the total amount, the amount paid and the outstanding balance, because now you know that the transaction has gone through successfully and the money has been paid. And once again, this works exactly the same way, but what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to go out of the application on the customer side now. So the customer's walking around, he's made his order, he's not really fussed about it because he's just made it. From the business side, they're going to go and receive the order. And within a couple of seconds, as you can see, the customer is now informed that the order has been received. Okay, very, very nicely, because you're keeping your customer in the loop as to what's happening exactly all the time. So I'm just gonna close that one, and we can go and acknowledge that order as well, which is one of our previous orders. So now if I click on the current stuff that we're busy working on, and this is the one that says the order from yesterday. So why I left this one here is to actually show you a little thing. So this one's going to tell you that this order has taken 23 hours to be acknowledged, or that you received it. I do think turnaround times and keeping your customers up to date is very, very important. But I also do think that this is very important for you as well, because if you want to, at the end of the day, improve your business and start selling things a little bit more, this might be a nice little feature for you to have, to actually see how long every step takes you to do, and how long it takes to get a complete order out of from when it was received to actually being shipped or delivered. So I'm just going to go and pretend that we have now finished this order, and I'm going to click confirm, and that will go away. And here's our current order that we made today. So as you can see now, the customer has received another notification, and that notification is going to tell him that his order is ready for shipping. So as you can see, the other one that has been received is still sitting there because we haven't looked at it. So I'm just going to close both of them quickly, and then we're going to go and mark our order ready for shipping. So we can go, and as you see, once again it disappears, and on the other side, if you look, automatically it's popped up and it says, hey, your order is now ready for shipping. I really think this is a very, very nice feature, because I'm one of those people that always want to know what's going on, and half the time it is incredibly difficult to find out like what's happening with my orders. So I do think this is a very, very, very nice feature to keep your customers up to date. There's another little feature that is there, but it's not active anymore, but not anymore at the moment. And I'll talk about that little now if I see it. There's a little messaging system built into it where the customer can send you a message, or you can send the customer a message to keep each other up to date or ask questions, etc., etc. Should a customer want to change, for example, a shipping address, or maybe change the quantity or something like that, you could just send you a message via the application, via the order itself. So the message is actually attached to the order, so it makes it very, very nice. So when you look at it, it's going to be, this is what it's all about. I will show it to you in one of the next videos, because like I say, currently it is inactivated in the version that's currently on the App Store. So for this order, we're just going to go and we're going to mark it for courier pickup. And as you can see now, this little URL pops in here. However, I do not have a URL, but I have created a little thingy where I'll show you how that works. So we can just pretend that we put in a URL and we can confirm, and this one as well. So we're just going to confirm that. So now if we go to shipping, as you can see, once again, our user has now got all the notifications for everything at every single stage, and we can nicely see how long it took for all the steps to be processed. So once the order has been either picked up by a courier company, or you gone and dropped it off, like for example Paxi or whatever, and they give you a tracking number, and you have entered the tracking number into the system. The nice little feature is now you can actually just go and click on there, and that should open up whatever courier company you use and take you to the actual tracking of the order. This is a order I made previously, so it was something I bought that was delivered from, what's it, FNF, Fast and Furious, I guess. So it's a nice little feature to have, and yeah. And once you're done with that, you can just click the back button and it's going to take you back to the application. From the user side as well, that the user can also just click on there and he can track the order for himself. So as you see, it nicely opened up, and now the user can track his order directly from the application as well. So that in a nutshell is how you create your orders and how you manage and track your orders. I do think it's a nice little process flow to actually go through every single step of how the orders work. They come from new into current, and once you've packaged it and processed it, you can just mark it and say that it's ready for shipping and that it's been processed. And once the courier picks it up, it goes into a little sort of a shipping state, and once it's been delivered, it goes into the completed state, and you can then go and, if there's any queries and stuff, go back and look at any of your orders and see what actually happened. As you can see, there's our little customer, and that's where it was delivered to, and that's the total price of the order. So what I was talking about, the inactivate button, if you see, here's a little Fassernate button here. So it's inactive at the moment, but if you click there, it will open up a little chat session, and you can actually then send a message to the client, or the client can send you a message, and it's a little two-way communication thingy between you and the client to always make sure that you stay in touch a lot quicker, a lot better. It helps with improving your customer service, and like I always say, a happy customer is a returning customer. So that's how we do orders, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I know it's quite long, but I do think it's very worthwhile going through the entire process. So thank you very much for joining us, and have a good evening.